If you've been watching our museum videos over the last few months, you've seen some of the masterpieces of art that our collection contains. And therefore you might be wondering why we would highlight this rather battered manuscript that has surely seen better days. Actually, it's objects like these that help us make advances on the research we do at the museum. The kind of work that help us to know how to present the collections to our audiences, with a better understanding of the types of stories they can tell us. In this case, the manuscript reveals that it has something to tell us about the role of Kashmir, the province in northern India, at the meeting point of many trade and travel routes, and how the various peoples who passed through or settled in the region had an effect on local artistic practices. The clue to that piece of history is the fragment of textile sewn into the spine of the manuscript. If this manuscript had survived in pristine condition from the time it was made, we might never have known about the use of a textile as part of its binding. It's a block printed cloth which has been cut when the binding was removed from the manuscript, and it was used to reinforce the spine, where several gatherings of pages have been sewn together to form the text block. Here the textile acts as an extra support for the thread being drawn through the thin paper and gives the thread something with a bit of resistance to attach to. The textile also helps strengthen the join between the text block and the cover that once encased the manuscript, for the textile, sewn into and integrated into the text block, would have originally extended outward and would have been pasted onto the inside of the cover, attaching the two at that point, as well as along the spine where the text block and the cover are typically joined. While textiles are occasionally used in manuscript bindings from other parts of the Islamic world, this is a limited practice found in very specific places, and usually for specific periods of time. This suggests that this manuscript came out of a continuity of manuscript binding practices from the earlier periods in Kashmir, rather than showcasing its connections to the rest of the Islamic world. In Kashmir, it had long been common to use textiles to reinforce the text block as well as the joint between cover and folios, which we know about from a number of Sikh and Hindu religious texts that predate the creation of this 18th century Persian language manuscript, a copy of the epic poem of the Shahnameh. This practice is in fact particular to several regions that, while quite distant, had ties to each other because of what is called the Silk Road, the term that refers to the trade routes along both land and sea that connected many different parts of Asia in ancient times, as well as in the present. While some of what motivated those routes to be formed was the desire for silk from China, many other types of goods traveled along with religions and philosophies, spices and food, art and music. An ongoing research project organized at the University of Toronto, in which the Aga Khan Museum has participated, has shown that the use of textiles in bindings is one strong indicator of these cultural ties, demonstrated by this practice that's common to Syriac, Armenian, Yemeni, Ethiopian, and Kashmiri manuscripts. These ideas and more will be explored in the upcoming exhibition titled Hidden Stories, Books Along the Silk Roads, where you can also visit this manuscript in person.